got it.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MANIACITV, man. Today we got another edition of Chicago Drill. Lyrics that really happened, man, from the Hip Hop Daily YouTube channel. This video dropped literally a half hour ago. And y'all know we've been following the series, man. The New York drill, Chicago drill. He most recently did a Jacksonville drill that we reacted to. We about to get into this one, man. Let's get it.
Chicago is the birthplace of drill and has inspired a worldwide movement that has spread everywhere from Florida to even the UK. Drill rappers are known for rapping about real crimes.
I need to get more in tune with the UK drill, man. I think I saw a few videos out there. I might be reacting to those this week. Get more in tune with the UK drill, man.
Everywhere from Florida to even the UK. Drill rappers are known for rapping about real crimes they've committed and the deadly life in the streets.
Savage.
Here's a look at some wild Chicago drill lyrics that actually happened. He survived one to the head, but it f***ed up his body. Lil Durk should have ducked.
Wooski.
Lil Durk is one of the most popular rappers to come out of Chicago in the early 2010s. His career has had some ups and downs, but he's managed to build a solid fan base that has kept him relevant in the music industry for almost a decade. Even though Durk has changed his ways and moved out of Chicago to focus on his rap career full time, he's still a savage at heart and will occasionally drop a diss track against his enemies. His most recent diss, Should Have Ducked, was a bonus track off the rapper's most recent album, The Voice, where he takes shots at several members of the FBG crew. In this bar, Durk is throwing shots at rival rapper FBG Wooski, who the artist has been beefing with for years. Wooski is one of O-Block's most hated ops due to the number of bodies and disses he's dropped. This deadly beef eventually led to Wooski getting ambushed and shot in the head outside a funeral, which is what Durk was talking about in the bar. Wooski actually grew up in the Parkway Gardens houses, the housing project in the area locals have named O-Block. Even though his older brother Big Mike was a BD and the entire building was controlled by the gang, Wooski ended up joining the GDs after becoming cool with dudes from the St. Lawrence area like FBG Duck. Big Mike protected Wooski when he was growing up, but that could only last so long. Wooski was just too wild to be contained and was forced to leave the area after a BD from the set Wick City named Reezy was shot and killed. The shooting happened during a fight between Reezy and a group of dudes from the STL-EBT set, including Wooski. Wooski was rumored to be the shooter in Reezy's death, even though he was only 12 or 13 at the time. After that,
these niggas be young out here, dog. Like what I say in that one video, I said, man, when I was 12, 13, I was playing SmackDown versus Raw 2006. These niggas out here catching bodies at that age, boy.
Wooski was rumored to be the shooter in Reezy's death, even though he was only 12 or 13 at the time. After that, he couldn't stay on O-Block anymore. The STL-EBT took him in, and he's been repping the set ever since. This beef would eventually get even deeper after Wooski allegedly killed an O-Block member named Platoon, and King Von retaliated by killing Wooski's cousin Modell. Around that time, Von and Wooski started going back and forth on Twitter, making their hatred for each other public. So it started
Von took shots at Wooski in every single song, man. I'm telling you.
All-out war between the two sets. Their beef got even more intense after Von and Big Mike, Wooski's brother, both got charged with murder after killing a man named Malcolm Stuckey outside a house party.
Mike ended up getting all the time. Von got out.
Both got charged with murder after killing a man named Malcolm Stuckey outside a house party. Stuckey had allegedly been mean-mugging Von, so the rapper went to recruit Big Mike as backup. When they confronted Stuckey outside the house party, they ended up opening fire, killing their target, and injuring the dudes he was with. Both Big Mike and Von were potentially facing up to 100 years in prison, and Mike decided to rat. He told police that Von was the one who fired the fatal shot, and he was just there for protection. But at the last minute,
I didn't know he ratted. I thought he didn't say anything, and that's why they gave him all the time, because he wouldn't take the stand on Von. I thought he wouldn't take the stand on Von, and that's how Von got out. I don't know.
That Von was the one who fired the fatal shot, and he was just there for protection. But at the last minute, Big Mike changed his mind and refused to testify.
Yeah, that's what it was. He refused to testify on the man, because you know, like if you snitch, especially on Von, somebody that has so many stripes in the block, man, even if you got out, you would not be able to go back, not just to O-Block, but back to Chicago. You would have to leave the state and go far, far away. Like, come on now.
Either O-Block got to him while he was locked up and let him know that if he came back to the streets, he'd be a dead man, or he figured it out on his own.
Yeah.
Either way, without Mike's testimony, the prosecutors didn't have much to go off. Von ended up beating the case, and Mike took the charge for the murder, getting sentenced to 28 years in prison. Check out our video on rappers.
That's the life, though. Like, that's the life that you sign up for, man. When shit get too real, you better be prepared to take that time. Ain't no switching on your sides. If you pledge to that life, if they giving you 28 years, you taking 28 years. Simple as that. If you in it like that, you gotta be a man about that.
Be the murder case for more info on what happened. Even though Mike still took the fall for the crime, the fact that he even thought about snitching meant that he had to be disowned by O Block and made the beef even more serious.
Yeah.
Things continued to escalate after an O Block member named HK was murdered outside the entrance to the Parkway Gardens houses. Wooski was rumored to be one of the shooters, which he confirmed on the diss track Computers remix. On the track, the rapper takes credit for the killing of a bunch of BDs, including HK, and after that, O Block was out for blood. They couldn't get to Wooski, so they went after one of his homies, Dusky the Man, who was shot and killed in the Washington Park neighborhood later that year.
And I want to ask y'all, who is Dusky and Lil Mo 6 Blocker? Is this like, is he related to Lil Mo? Y'all let me know. Because I know like a lot of people been saying stuff about Dusky and Lil Mo 6 Blocker.
Homies, Dusky the Man, who was shot and killed in the Washington Park neighborhood later that year. It was at Dusky the Man's funeral that O Block would come close to getting revenge on one of Chirac's deadliest shooters. The beef was at a boiling point and both gangs were out for blood. Von even warned Wooski that a surprise was coming over FaceTime on the night before the funeral. Right after the service, Wooski stepped out to smoke a cigarette, which is when his ops finally caught up to him. They sprayed up the front of the church, hitting Wooski in the head and injuring 5 other people. Wooski somehow survived the shooting, but suffered nerve damage and blood loss. So on Should Have Ducked, Dirk is rapping about Wooski getting shot in the head and struggling with the effects, even though he survived. Dirk was close to King Von and was also known to beef with Wooski and the rest of the FBG crew. The whole track is actually a diss against the late FBG Duck, who was shot and killed in an upscale shopping area of Chicago called the Gold Coast. Earlier on the track, Dirk raps, "I told my PO through the gate that I get high as f***. She asked me how high do I get? High as duck."
And I couldn't believe Dirk said this, man. Even on the reaction, I'm like, man, Dirk, he ain't really been, like, he will send subliminals at his ops, but he ain't never really, like, name dropped like this in years. Like, it's been years on years since Dirk is, like, physically, even this could be kind of taken, it's kind of subliminal, but the highest duck, you know, that's tough. That's real tough, man. That's, like, that reminded me of, like, old Dirk coming out.
The gate that I get high as f***. She asked me how high do I get? High as duck. Duck was killed in August 2020 after dropping a diss track called Dead Bodies, where he disrespects dead members of O Block. Next to Wooski, Duck was one of O Block's most hated ops. Before his death, he and Dirk had been exchanging diss tracks for years. But Dirk isn't the only rapper that FBG Duck has thrown shots at. In this next bar, the rapper disses a dead op named 600 Waldo, who died the day after Dusky the Man was murdered. Waldo ain't get to finish his status, he was on the internet laughing, capping, then get caught without it. FBG Duck, Exposing Me remix. Waldo 600 was a member of the 600 set of the BDs. 600 is allied with O Block in the war against the STL-EBT and MOB sets of the GDs. Waldo was shot and killed on East 63rd Street, a street that's considered the border between O Block and 600, not far from the Parkway Gardens houses. He was killed on October 10, 2018, just a day after Drewski the Man was murdered, not far from the same spot. It's been rumored that Waldo was killed in retaliation for his murder, which probably added to the attack on Wooski. Waldo was allegedly there on the day Dusky was shot and killed. To make it even worse, rumors circulated that Waldo was dissing Dusky online, which led to immediate retaliation. Both men were well respected in their gangs, so the murders added even more attention to the already intense war that was raging on the streets of the South Side. In this bar, Duck is referencing the fact that Waldo got killed for dissing a dead op on the internet. When MOB caught Waldo lacking in enemy territory, it was all over. It's pretty wild how quick the revenge was for Dusky's death, but on the streets of Chicago, anything can happen in the blink of an eye.
I'm saying,
but Waldo isn't the only
op. You can never really put a timestamp. If it's gonna happen, it could happen, shit, literally the same day. Like, them niggas slide damn near the same day. That shit wild.
Op Duck reference in this song. In another verse, he raps, "Let off 23, then 7 more. That's how I come for bro. T-Roy ain't get shot inside his head, but he ain't make it though."
Exposing Me remix from Duck, that shit was tough. That shit, I ain't even gonna lie. The Exposing Me, both Exposing Me's were fucking hard as hell. I'm telling you, man. So he was talking about
But Waldo isn't the only Op Duck reference in this song. In another verse, he raps, "Let off 23, then 7 more. That's how I come for bro. T-Roy ain't get shot inside his head, but he ain't make it though."
Damn.
The first line is about Duck's brother, FBG Brick. Brick was another member of the STL-EBT set who had been trying to follow in his brother's footsteps and become a rapper after being released from prison. Brick was shot and killed in the Woodlawn neighborhood of the South Side in July 2017, along with his cousin Kobe Mack. Rumor has it that Brick was posting videos on the internet taunting O Block, so a group of BD goons pulled up to confront him. According to witnesses, they hit Kobe first and Brick had to turn and run. He went down an alley, but realized he was going in the wrong direction. At the end of the alley was a gate that he tried to hop, but got stuck halfway over. His killers caught him stuck on the fence and shot him in the back while he was trying to get to the other side.
Damn.
No one was ever arrested for the murders, but it is rumored to be a group of O Block and 600 members, including HK. HK was one of the ops who was later killed by Wooski, but Brick's murder was likely part of the motive. The night after Brick was killed, FBG allegedly shot up O Block. Within the FBG clique, each rapper has their own numbers. Duck claimed the number 03, and Brick was referred to as 30. So when he raps let off 23, then 7, he's making
30.
a play on words based on this code.
Man, Duck was ahead of his time in his bars though, man. I hate that had to happen to him, man. I really do. Like, y'all know I fuck with Duck heavy on the channel, dog. It felt like Duck was untouchable. I'm telling you, like, it felt like Duck, if anybody from his side were to make it out, it would have been Duck. Like, I don't know, man. It's just crazy.
So when he raps let off 23, then 7, he's making a play on words based on this code. 23 plus 7 equals 30, so he's got 30 rounds for O Block to get revenge for his brother.
Wow.
In the next bar, he references a dead op named T-Roy, who was killed earlier the same year. T-Roy was a respected shooter from O Block who was close to King Von, Chief Keef, and HK's youngest brother. Even though he was less than 5'3",
oh yeah, height don't matter. This nigga was a savage. This nigga was a demon.
King
I'm
Von,
telling you.
Chief Keef, and HK's youngest brother. Even though he was less than 5'3", T-Roy was a respected shooter with multiple alleged bodies. T-Roy was shot and killed on February 14, 2017 at just 23 years old. Rumor has it that he was out looking for an op named TB from Taekwon's World, another set of the GDs that's allied with STO-EBT. Troy accidentally wandered into a neighborhood known as Paxtown, an area controlled by the GDs. He was on the hunt for TB.
Oh, what is this? This ain't no area controlled by the GDs, nigga. This is Wisconsin. This is northern Wisconsin.
Neighborhood known as Paxtown, an area controlled by the GDs. He was on the hunt for TB because he allegedly killed an O Block member named Chino. While wandering around Paxtown, T-Roy was spotted by none other than FBG Brick. Brick then called up TB to alert him that T-Roy was out looking for blood. TB was then able to get the drop on T-Roy and shot him in the chest around the 2000 block of East 71st Street.
Damn.
The shooting was captured on Facebook Live by a woman who was in the car at the time he was shot. A
I remember
2-year-old
that.
child was also tragically killed in the shooting. T-Roy was a well-respected member of
Damn.
O Block, whose death was a major loss for the crew. After his murder, his brother HK really started turning up in the streets. Before that, HK was affiliated, but not known for having any bodies. After T-Roy's death, he had to step up and fill his brother's shoes and ended up being involved in multiple murders in less than a year. First, he was allegedly involved in the killing of Poppy from TW, who was also one of the alleged killers of Chino from O
Y'all
Block.
had me react to this song the other night, a couple days ago on the Twitch stream, and y'all said everybody that was in this song is dead. And that, I ain't gonna lie, man, that shit sent shivers all through my body. I'm like, man, what? Like, y'all said everybody on this song was dead. Cause this song right here was a diss song.
He was allegedly involved in the killing of Poppy from TW, who was also one of the alleged killers of Chino from O Block, along with TB.
Wow.
T-Roy was shot while trying to get revenge for Chino's murder, so it seems like HK decided to finish the job. Poppy was working a 9-to-5 at a grocery store when he was caught by HK and another O Block member named Duke. Duke was credited with the hit, but HK was allegedly with him. Next, HK went after FBG Brick for being the one who was responsible for alerting TB about his brother's location. HK was allegedly the one who chased Brick into the alley and fired the kill shot. Then, HK got his revenge by killing TB in September 2017.
This nigga, it's like a back and forth, literal back and forth, and it's been this way for over the last decade. These niggas,
The kill
man.
shot. Then, HK got his revenge by killing TB in September 2017. TB was chilling with a dude named Side from Jarrell City, another set of the GDs. HK found out their location from someone and went to confront him. Rumors have gone around that when HK pulled up, TB just laughed and said, "You finally got me." But this is unconfirmed, as he was killed right after from a gunshot wound to the head.
Wow.
Side was also shot in the head, but survived. But HK's reign of terror ended after getting his final revenge because only 2 months later, he was killed. On November 24th, 2017, HK was chilling in O Block with a dude named Famous from a BD set called Blackgate. They were walking toward one of the buildings when a car pulled up and FBG Wooski, along with 2 affiliates from Jarrell City and TW, jumped out. Famous managed to escape, but HK was shot in the legs and stomach, later dying from those injuries.
Damn.
Wooski rapped about the shooting on his diss track computers. King Von was
Wooski rapped about damn near every shooting on his diss track computers, man. He rapped about literally shit from the birth of drill all the way, man. This nigga.
close with both T-Roy and HK, so their deaths intensified the beef between the STL EBT set and O Block. Their murders are a big part of what led up to Wooski getting shot outside Dooski the Man's funeral, bringing the whole beef full circle. The war between O-Block and STL EBT continues to this day. Even though there's still plenty of violence going on the South Side, all the major rappers who were associated with the early drill scene are either dead or too rich to still be putting in work on the street. King Von and FBG Duck's tragic deaths in 2020 seem to have closed a chapter on the wild era for drill music, and the public attention has shifted to places like London and Jacksonville. Chirac will always be the birthplace of drill and one of the wildest hoods in America. But every rapper eventually has to choose whether they want to continue the endless cycle of violence or put the past behind them to focus on a legal music career. If you like this video,
but it's like, even if, like, look at Von. Von was living in Atlanta at the time of his death. You know, Von didn't get killed in Chicago, man. It's like, it's just, it could happen to you anywhere, really. Like, you can really be out just trying to do your own thing, and it could happen just like that, man. But I mean, he definitely got a point, though. I mean, it's the era of drill, you know, the drill that I came up on, man. You know, a lot of us came up on. You know, look at who's dead, who's in jail. I mean, there's a few, you know, Chief Keef and Dirk, you know, Chief Keef, he out in LA. I don't think Chief Keef ever gonna come back to Chicago. He out in LA on the game. Like, you know, Dirk is right now one of the faces of the game right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely a tragic story, man. But drill, Chicago drill, man, it ain't nothing like it. Nothing like it, man. Link down below in the description. Y'all want to check it out in its entirety, uninterrupted. If y'all new to the channel, y'all rock with me. Want daily reaction videos, hit that subscribe button for me. Until the next video, I'll see y'all then. Thank you for watching MANIACITV. I'm out.
I ain't gotta do too much. I swear that these niggas, they be doing too much. I ain't gotta